What's good, everyone? This is your boy DJ's Raw Cut Truth. Give you that raw content that you deservedly need. And I got my boy H Town from the Get Down Hoops Jargon in the building. Say what's up to the fam, bro.
Yes, sir, man. What's up, man? Happy to be in the building, man. Who jogging in the building? H-Town. Stand up, man. You know what it is.
Yeah, Southside H Town representing, man. And
Yeah.
and we're gonna talk about Lamelo Ball for a moment. Brother, do you believe that Lamelo has been given a fair representation? Is he being treated fairly by the media? I don't think so. I think the media is vindictive against him because they're obsessed with hating his father. So they're taking it out on his kids unprofessionally. And I just think it's wrong. What's your opinion on it?
You know what? I'm going to go beyond saying I think it's wrong. I think it's typical. This is literally like modus operandi what the media does, man. It's basically, I'm an armchair psychologist, so, I didn't go to school for this.
For real.
I'm an arm's length sociologist, but, man, you see it all the time, man. With the way that the liberal media kind of goes, man, it's always an attack on a abrasive father, man. It never fails. It never fails. And what you see is transference, so you take it out on the kids because obviously you can't step to LeVar like that because, we seen how he handles that. Like, what's his name from CNN? Como tried to come at him a certain way. Trump tried to come at him a certain way. He can match wit with wit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they pretty much surmise now you really can't touch LeVar. But what you can do is try to castigate the kids. And you see it time after time, man. And now it's getting to the point where it's like undeniable to hate on LaMelo. So you see guys like Scott Van Pelt try to kind of reverse course and try to act like, how can I put it? You fake sorry all of a sudden, and now you got this resolute, opinion that, hey, man, I was wrong, and this kid was great. I can't take it out on him just as his father. Like, hogwash, man. We ain't trying to hear that, man. But they just doing what they do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just funny to see, man. I just sit back and laugh, man. But they just doing what they do, man. Is it unfair? Yes. But, this is par for the course, man.
So, yeah, I agree. I agree 1,000% what you're saying. Pretty much everyone's just being either like Scott Van Pelt, he's being condescending,
Yeah, absolutely.
And fake remorseful. I remember that segment where he's like, I apologize for how we took all of our, negativity on this kid, and we should have done it. And then he did through jabs at LeVar. You see, it's a one-way street at the end of the day. And like I've told many people, if you're an NBA GM executive in the front office and you choose emotion over facts or analyzing talent, you don't need to be in the NBA circles at all.
Bingo.
Because as a fan of basketball, I do not care what a player's parents do. I really do not care. So if I'm a team that's struggling and we pass on the 6'7" that's still growing, some say he's 6'8" right now, point guard, just because you dislike his father is a huge mistake. Vlade Divac did that with the Kings. They had a chance to get Luka Doncic, but Vlade Divac did not like Luka's father because he said his father was too demanding. His father was pretty much a man, what a man should be doing.
Well, look at it, man. Like, bad teams stay bad for a reason, man. The Kings have been cursed since that 2000 team that everybody loved. What have they done since then besides live in the lottery? You know what I'm saying? Bad leadership exhibits bad leadership traits, man. And it's cyclical, man. It's always going to be that way. And that's a great point you say about taking the emotion out, man. And I think a lot of people, they just intrinsically, they struggle with that, man. Everybody want to lead with their feelings, man. And with any great man is something that you have the discernment, man. You have to be able to separate feelings, emotions, and have nuance to your thoughts, man, and lead with sensibility, man. And I think so many people struggle with that. And to show I'm not a hypocrite, man, one of my videos I did, I don't know if you checked out, I was doing pretty well about D-Wade going off on the coach.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Man, I had the same energy for D-Wade. Like, D-Wade, a cat I don't really care for, about some of the things he does and says, but he just been a dad, man. And, like, that's just all sports dads are that way, man. So you to try to go so hard to act like LeVar Ball is so different from what we've seen already, like from the Williams sisters, which is Richard Williams, I believe his
Yeah,
name
Richard
is.
Williams. Yeah.
Richard Williams, we've seen my man from Bryce Harper from baseball. His dad like pulled him out of school early and stuff. Like they're gonna be overbearing, father support for great athletes, man. There's nothing new under the sun, man. And so people just act like LeVar is this great nuisance. This dude at the end of the day gonna potentially have 3 kids in the NBA. I don't care who you are, what you say. Come on, man. There's nothing normal about that. So at some
Yeah,
point you gotta get respect.
no one talks about that. Remember, I don't think people remember P. Diddy when his son played for UCLA. Actually, his P. Diddy got in trouble for trying to assault an assistant coach.
Yeah, I remember that.
So these are more extreme than what LeVar has ever done. And like I said, we're not here to say LeVar is always right. We're just being objective. We're not trying to act like he's public enemy number one. That's just media driven. It's an obsession. These same shines who say, man, I'm tired of hearing about LeVar Ball. I'm tired of seeing him on TV screen. Well, one moment talk bad about LeVar, and that's still talking about him. Like I said, if you don't want to talk about LeVar, just don't say his name.
Yeah.
If you truly don't want to talk about him, then you don't talk about him. So that means you don't talk negatively about him either.
Yeah, and it's well because the media is hilarious, man, because they serving 2 masters, man. So they'll say all this stuff about how they should take him off TV and he's bad for TV and all this stuff. But like you said, they can't stop talking about him. So I just can't. I can't go with that contrived, paradigm that they do, is they basically try to tell you something's bad, but always talk about it because you clearly talking about it because it's going to resonate with your viewership. So that's why you kind of got to listen instead of hear those people talk, because they'll really tell you that their agendas if you really, really listen to them. And I think, yeah.
Sorry about that, brother.
Yeah, no, you good. No, I'm just saying it's just funny to observe, man, because it's like it's being fake mad, man. People just fake mad.
Right.
And so you really got to sift through the bull because, if you support, you'll really get upset, but you got to understand the game, man. They playing a game, man. If you pull them people to the side, most of them people wish, a cat like LeVar was they pops. They wish they had somebody in life to encourage him the way he encouraged his kids, man. So you got to kind of peep game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I got a partner. He was like, man, because, we grew up in the hood, and I remember we were talking about LeVar. We were saying, not me, but he was saying, like, dang, man, I wish I had a dad like LeVar. I know he's like, I know he talks a lot, but he was telling me that he wished he had someone that would just support him no matter what.
Absolutely. That's a huge problem we got in our community, man. Us being brothers, man, like we really got, this disconnect of just, a man just giving you that king energy, man. Like, listen, man, no matter what they say, what they do, you're gonna be this, no matter what. And other like cultures, they do that all the time, man. Like the male like breathes that energy into their offspring, whether they work in, the convenience store and learn the game from them. Hey, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be nothing else. You're going to be the best doctor. And I'm speaking more like, my Indian brothers out there. So, I mean, that's nothing new, man. Like, but for some reason in our community, when we do that, oh, hold on, you're scaring your kid. You're putting him in a position where he's going to fall on his face. You're putting too much pressure on him. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, man. We're suffering as a nation from emasculation.
There you go.
By the far left media. Now, like we telling people, we're not political, but we're just stating what it is. It's far left media, and they're anti-male, they're anti-black male. Just they don't want any emasculation. They don't want fatherhood. They want to promote men in dresses. When Dwayne Wade was promoting his son about changing his gender, cutting off his thing, everybody was applauding. But when LeVar Ball just says that his son is the best because he believes in his son, we act like he's the most evil man in the world. Is he cocky? Yes. Does he rub some people the wrong way? He probably does. But he's not what the media says he is. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I mean, and let's just, flip that script. So that same, like I said, I'm not political. I'm very much apolitical, but you just peep game. Grew up more in the liberal spectrum. Now, when you kind of see how the game, rolls out, I just look at it more objectively. Like, and you asked me 3 years ago, I had nothing to speak negatively about from the liberal spectrum, but you grow, you learn, things change. So I say all that to say this: you look at how they treat, Draymond Green's mama or KD mama. KD
Facts,
mama
bro.
was going at Stephen A's neck, right? Talking about how he talking about his baby, giving her all the kudos in the world. Nobody got nothing to say about her being overstepping her boundaries, speaking to a media personality like she shouldn't. Like, where did Mama KD play at? Kevin Durant, my favorite player in the world. But where did Mama KD play at to be able to speak down on Stephen A? If you're going to play that game, you know what I'm saying? So it just shows how that spectrum goes to just, your point you were making about how the patriarchy basically isn't embraced, and it's all about the matriarchy, man. It's all about promoting the woman over the man, in my opinion. And it's just funny to see, man, because it's lock and step every time you see it.
The Most High once said that without a kingdom in presence, there is no family dynamic. And you know what? That's true. Uh, Here's what people don't understand. We're not saying that women don't play a role or motherhood. That all plays a role. But without masculine energy, there's no, uh, there's nothing complete. Without it, there's nothing complete. There's no family. There's no structure. It's just messed up. Then you tell the kids who don't have fathers if they wish they have a father, they'll tell you in a millisecond they wouldn't be in prison. They wouldn't be in jail. They wouldn't be this. They wouldn't have so many baby mamas if they just had that one father who was there from the jump. That's why I never diss fathers. That's why I never diss men like LeVar. I may say, oh, this may not work or this work, but this is his business. I say stuff like that. But we're so obsessed with hating on someone that it's became toxic.
Agreed. I mean, and it's, again, you're kind of conditioned from a young age to do this, man. Like you are conditioned to not respect, like, the manly principle. You're conditioned to challenge male authority, and you hit the nail around the head. And like, you do it because it's like subconsciously embedded into you, but that's not your nature to do so. And what you will find is a lot of these brothers, they wish they had that type of leadership. How do I know this? Man, I used to be a teacher and a coach at the middle school level, man, inner city, 4 years, brother. Man, like, I got so many surrogate kids through that situation, man. And a lot of times, man, the ones who didn't have a father at home were the ones who gravitated towards me the hardest. I used to talk to my kids crazy, man. But it was a method to the madness, because I know that's how they used to get talked to. So it came from a place of love, but, I would mess with them. But they wanted that, though. They wanted to be told what to do. They wanted a male to give them advice. They wanted to have some direction. And I feel like this society deprives that from people. Like, and it's like systemic, man. Like, we expect that to be standard protocol, man. And it's a messed up paradigm. And these people grow up and be media members. And so you see them now showing their hand when they got so many problems with a dad who is literally making a business for his family that his kids can take beyond basketball. But all they do is try to castigate it as, well, he taking his money. Nike would have gave him all this money. So what? So what? Big Baller Brand is worth millions of dollars on their own merit. Nothing like that, man, of having your own situation. You can have your own generational wealth, and your own just family idea, man. Even if it falls on his face, so what? You gave your kids that idea. You gave them that skill set that nothing else will be able to give to them.
Yeah, brother. I'm in a like category like of fellow YouTubers who said if BBB works, then it's great. If it doesn't work, it's not a failure. There's a lot of companies that fail. The kids are still gonna have money.
Absolutely.
If the BBB stop doing what they're doing, and let's say Lamelo signs with Puma or any of these companies to get $100 million contract, the family's still set. So they're winning at the end of the day.
This kid had a Lamborghini at 16, man.
Yeah, I know. But this family's broke. This is before Lonzo went to the draft. But he's broke.
People silly, man. And man, brother, I want to touch on this real quick. And man, KG is going through this lawsuit right now where he had one of his financial advisors. Huh?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, man. Brother got him for like 90 mil, man. And people like are harping on this 1.5 that Alan Foster did, which, I feel, a personal way. I went to the one of the JBA games down here in Dallas. Was it 2 years ago? I had Alan Foster take a picture of me and LeVar. So, I mean, of course, that's not this big life-changing moment, but this is a cat that, I've interacted with, even on a small scale.
Yeah.
So, so I feel like from a support of the family, like the betrayal is real. But at the same time, $1.5 million. And when you talk about dudes who lost $90 million, man, like people are really trying to snowball stuff that when you put it in context, when you put in its proper perspective, it's nothing to be casting this big shadow of doubt that this movie just ain't gonna work. This family is just so torn up, and the company is just so broken. Like I don't understand people, man. I really don't, man.
Yeah, man. No one talks about other players. So it's funny when Lonzo lost $1.5 million, it made like national news.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan lost $50 million at one point, like you said, KG, many others. There was a show on ESPN 30 for 30 called Broke. Tons of NBA players that lost way more money than Lonzo's lucky to only lose $1.5 million because that's low compared to what I've been hearing about fellow pro athletes.
Man, absolutely, man. It was a guy down here. I forget his name, man, in Houston. He took advantage of a lot of Houston-based NBA players. He actually committed suicide. I want to say about 5 years ago. His name was Rodriguez. His last name was. So one of the cats I grew up playing against named Cartier Martin. He played for the Pistons and the
I remember Hill.
Yeah, man. Cartier is one of the best players I played against beside LaMarcus Aldridge. And man, Cartier got took for it was $200K somewhere around there. But Cartier wasn't a second round pick like Lonzo. That $200K hurt him way worse than what that 1.5 hurt Lonzo for. But just shows you this stuff happens all the time. It's how you recover from it. But the media just wants to get stuck on the actual, event and not necessarily the process. Like, okay, it didn't hurt him. He's business as usual. He's at his best year after this event. So, get off the gas. You know what I mean? But that's not how the media rolls. It's all about narrative. So if you control the narrative, you control the consciousness. So we just got to, be more astute, man, and stop, falling for that BS, man, because it's contrived, man. They get paid to do that, man. So, we just got to elevate our thinking, man, and understand that the agenda is real and don't always go off that paradigm, man. You got to use your own brain at some point, man.
Facts, bro. Now we're switching gears, no pun intended. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Molly. So do you believe Lamelo is the best prospect in the 2020 draft? Now, I believe he is. I'm not saying because I'm a fan of his. I'm just saying how he's grown as a player. He's 6'7" for crying out loud. And he's a point guard with the best handle in his class and known to man.
Man, I've been saying this 2 years ago. I got this, man. Go look at my oldest YouTube video talking about the Ball family from 2 years ago when it was in Lithuania. I was saying that he was going to be one of the best prospects 2 years ago when it was unpopular to say. So, yeah, man, I think either him or the brother Anthony Edwards going to be the best situation, no question. I even like James Wiseman, but as far as just an ability to change the game, especially how the game is played now, man, LaMelo Ball is a no-brainer, man. And I would have said the same thing as he's 6'5". Just the imagination he has, the creativity, the dexterity. He basically has every best quality of his older brothers, plus imagination. So, yeah, man, I think he's the best product, man. And now him growing 2 more inches, it's kind of undeniable at this point.
Yeah, I know. I remember when LaMelo was in Lithuania and then the JBA and his ranking was gone. We knew that was politics. We knew that was some fuck shit. Not allowing him to succeed. And he went back to high school and got ranked again.
Yeah. So it just shows you that fanboy mentality, man. Like they really go off the again a contrived narrative, man. Like so if you really was astute, you really was a person who took ranking seriously, you would be able to discern that okay, he's not playing traditional high school basketball, but let's check him out in Lithuania and see where his game is so we can properly rank him. But no, that fanboy culture is, oh, well, he's not playing the normal institution of going through high school basketball, so now we going to It's kind of like how they did T.O. Since T.O.
Mm-hmm.
want to go off the grid, we going to punish you, even though off your merit, you clearly a first ballot Hall of Famer, no question. Same type of mentality right there, bro. And it's fucking pathetic, dude. It's pathetic.
Yeah, that kind of mentality, man, is just it's so negative, man. It's so negative. And I'm so glad that LaMelo Ball rose above the hate and not let it get in his mind.
Yeah.
And it tells me that he's mentally strong. And if I'm the Knicks, if I'm the Pistons, I'm drafting him immediately. I call LaMelo Ball the stimulus package because he will reimburse and replenish and increase every single revenue that you have.
Absolutely. And let me ask you this. Why do you think he's so mentally strong?
His father.
Bingo.
So you hear that?
And to the people who say, "Oh, he putting all this pressure on his kids," man, it's a such thing called trial by fire, man. He's put all his kids through that paradigm, man. So his kids, a lot of people try to project their own scary nature on them kids, man. If you watch, them kids are not ever rattled. They're never rattled. Now, do they talk a lot? No, not really. They're not big talkers. But you never see them panic. You never see them get out of pocket. You never see them get out of character. They just kind of got that even kill mentality. That's because they got a high level understanding to see things through. And but again, that part requires nuance, and that part people never peep. That's the part people never speak on because the fact is a lot of people don't have that in them. So, so it's good to have conversations like this when you can actually acknowledge the stuff that makes those kids who they are, besides just their talent level. Those guys are at a very, very high mental preparedness background. You know what I mean? And again, that's from the father, bro. Like so. But again, the liberal media won't give that kudos to that type of skill set that he imparted on his kids, and it's just funny to see, man. I'm not one of them dudes gonna sit here and throw a bitch fit about it, but it's just funny to Pete, man. That's just a standard protocol, man.
Exactly, man. Is there a prospect you see that's close to being as good as LaMelo in this draft, or even better?
Man, so if this was 5 years ago, I would say James Wiseman because a talented big, can go a whole long way.
Yeah.
I.e. Joel Embiid, who I love from college. I just think the game, man, has went to a guard-driven league. It's went to a triple threat player. It's going to be the best. So I just think LaMelo got the best of this night, this new iteration of basketball. But if somebody were to just give him a run for his money, to answer your question, man, I would go Anthony Edwards. He's that prototypical two-guard size, strong, fast, athletic. I mean, I don't care who you are, man. It'd always be a need for 6'5", strong, athletic two-guard, man. So, look no further than, Jason Tatum's about 6'8", but, that little skill set he has, it's always going to be a need for that. So, if anybody who I would say could have longevity longer than him, I would say Anthony Edwards, man.
Yeah, him and LaMelo are both the youngest players in this draft.
Absolutely.
And Anthony Edwards still has potential. He's a big guard. He's 6'5", 220 plus.
Yeah. Huge guard, huge athletic.
And, Anthony Edwards, I know he got some slack shooting percentages and yada, 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 but I think he'll be a better pro than what he is in college. In college, he played for a shitty team. And he should have played for Florida State with Leonard Hamilton. I've been saying that from the beginning. His stock would have just been sealed. He would have been number one no matter what because he would have been playing with veterans. And so he wouldn't have to do too much. He would have had efficient numbers.
Agreed. I think he would, man. And so it's funny when you go to a more talented team, but obviously your light isn't as bright. But I think astute, I think good NBA scouts can see through that. And a comparison I would reference is Ben Simmons. If you saw Ben Simmons, did he have the greatest year at LSU? No. LSU had a lot of talent that didn't fit, but they had a lot of talent. One of my good friends, Talvin Hester, man, actually who coaches at La Tech now, I interviewed him on my page about a week ago.
Yeah.
And I remember in moment, man, when he's coaching at U of H, they were about to play LSU, and I asked him, man, what you think, man? What you think? And he was telling me, man, we're going to box and won his ass because college basketball ain't for him, and those players that he played with think they're better than him. So we gonna take him out the game by zoning. And if you watch U of H play against LSU that year, that's what they did. They got their zone and made Ben Simmons uncomfortable. And that's when the media kind of started jumping, like, oh well, is he really what they think? No, the answer was the college game wasn't for him. The college game is way too structured. It's way too half court centric. And I said it. I was like, and I told my people in my group, Hoop Jordan, wait, let him get in the NBA spectrum where he can run the court. You take all that. I mean, I play Division I basketball, so I'm not shitting on it all the way. But in the same way, it's bullshit. You take that leash off of him and let him actually go out there and run with that skill set Ben Simmons got. Like, he'll be fine. And I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm Negro Domus, but you see what he is. Boy, bad boy, man. It just, you got to take the pieces off. So to your point, if he was at Florida State, would he have such a prolific year individually? Probably not. But a good scout would still be able to see how good he is. One, playing under Leonard Hamilton, as you said, great coach, long tenure at Florida State, great defensive mind. You would have seen his pedigree, man. So it'd have been all good for him either way. Playing for Georgia, like, who's the last damn noteworthy player who hooped for Georgia? I'll wait.
For real. and I'm glad you mentioned the LSU. Now, we talk about the Ball family, we get all that, but we're making analogies.
Yeah.
So, these are for the shines who don't think.
Yeah.
But when you watch the Ben Simmons LSU team, everyone and their mama was saying how selfish that team was playing. Everybody was trying to get theirs.
Yep.
They didn't play as one, and they didn't stick to their role, and that's why they didn't make the tournament. They were selfish. And Ben Simmons, he couldn't wait to get out of college.
Yep.
and he had an interview with one of those, Rich Paul shows or whatever. I forgot, Undisputed
Barbershop or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And when they brought up college, every time they bring up college, Ben Simmons has a sheer anger.
He got good reason, man. Man, Ray Charles, see, that's some bullshit at LSU, man.
Yeah, that was some bull.
That's some bullshit, man. But the casual fan can't peep that, though. The casual fan's like, oh, man, he look trash, man. He got all the players with him. Like, it's not like that, man. You got to look at the paradigm. You got to look at the dynamic of the team. The dynamic of the team is them guards thought they were twice as better than him. Bill Simmons is a guy who got about the ball in his hand. That's not how they wanted to roll it. So you basically turned him into a post player only. That's not Ben Simmons' because they basically want him to flash high, face up, and look. Nah, man. He a dude, you need to have the ball in his hands, man. Obviously. He been an all-star since he touched the NBA with a full season. So obviously they're playing him wrong. So I mean, you gotta be in a peak game, man.
Yeah, man. Shoot. I was gonna tell you, man, why are people like Ticket TV and others and even the media are so obsessed with the family, like wanting the family to fail? Like they'll make videos about this is this and this is that. Ticket TV made a video yesterday dissing Lonzo, saying that that's a bad move for him to leave a CAA agency, by the way, that lost what's his name again, that's going to the Knicks, Leon Rose, who is a big fixture in that agency. So he's leaving CAA, and Tiki TV stated that if Lonzo goes to Clutch Sports, that's a bad move. Now, I'm not a LeBron fan, but Clutch Sports gets their players paid.
Mm-hmm.
So if Lonzo goes there, he's making a right business decision. And a lot of athletes switch agents like 90 going north.
Yeah.
So just tell me why they're so obsessed with wanting the family to fail. It's so weird to me. It's odd.
Bro, so okay, I know I'm getting, my career started with the YouTube thing. And so one thing I don't want to ever a hole I don't want to fall into is fanboy shit, beefing, plexing, all this. So I don't want to ever fall into that paradigm. I'm 36 years old, man.
Yeah.
So I actually had interaction with Ticket TV, man, just watching one of his live streams, watching the Lakers game when Lonzo played for the Lakers. So what you got to understand is there's a lot of dudes who don't really know basketball. So he had to act the grind for Lonzo for a minute, man. And old Cliff, me, would say he a ho out here, but I'm 36-year-old Cliff. I don't want to be like that. You just got to understand, man. Some dudes, man, it's like what we talked about earlier, man. You see some deficiency in yourself, and you're gonna project that on, the object that represents the anti of that. And I mean, I don't know that brother from a ham sandwich, but from what he says and the way he acts, it looks like transference. It looks like that he's projecting his own insecurity or his whatever on Lonzo. Because I even asked him, like, during the game when Lonzo was making good plays, he's like, oh, and excuse my French, that nigga's still weak. He's still weak. I'm like, dude, okay. But he made this great play, and I'm explaining why. The dude, like, blocked me out of his chat. I'm like, wow. So I say I'll just say this. To me, that exudes a lot of bitch energy. And that's something I'm just not interested in really partaking in. And if you like that, man, that's cool, man. There's a big audience for that type of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just I'm laying the groundwork because there's going to be a lot of people like that. No matter what positive, you're going to sift through, look for the negative, and you're going to accentuate that. That's just how some people are built. Because, again, you're projecting your own insecurities on the situation. So you look at that with the fumble. The fumble does the same thing. They love to find any little negative thing and run with it. That's just their business model. That's what they do. So I implore those who support the family is just understand the nature of them kind of people, man. Like they not happy with nothing. They gonna always lead with negativity on something they see as something that is an indictment on themselves. And you just can't trip, man. Like and I think it's good, to be honest, man. And I know it's gonna sound strange, but when you succeed, man, you always gotta have the anti, man. You always gotta have the counter energy, because that's gonna boost your profile too, man. Because as much as the people who are entertained by what you're doing, are enamored with your skill set, there's gonna be a populace of those who just want to flat out talk down on what you got going. So it's necessary. It serves its own purpose. So I don't really focus too hard on that stuff no more. Again, 2 years ago, I had to smoke for him, and I had some choice words I sent to him after I got blocked from another profile I sent. But then I was just like, man, why am I wasting that energy on that kind of person, man? That's just who he is. So, I mean, more power to the brother. If that's how his profile want to be built, doing that kind of thing, that's fine. All you're doing is exposing your own insecurity, man. And so if you're a man, you willing to live with that type of thing, man, that's on you, bro.
People don't realize, man, like you're a real one. So you, these same people that be on YouTube spewing all that stuff, blocking people, hating, they wouldn't be as tough in real life. That's just what it is, and that's why I joke with it. Really, I don't really pay no mind. That's why I'm not up in this comment section just comment on everything, because I wasn't raised to be a bitch. And my father always told me when he was alive, a man stands on his ground, and sometimes he leaves situations alone, but he never bitches. He said the word bitch, and he was right. Us brothers, our ancestors have been through so much for us to grow up to be bitch-like. You know what I mean? They weren't bitches. They had to fight for everything they got. And it's the same rule applies today. I also want to state, when I read that Bleacher Report article about Lamelo Ball that he may slide in the draft, I thought it was a crock of shit. But actually, I don't mind. If he slides in the draft, okay, he goes to a contending team that will just dominate even more for a decade. I mean, that'll be the teams that lose, and they're going to pay for that. When the Detroit Pistons, I'm not saying anyone in this draft is prime Melo, but I'm making an analogy. So in 2003, when the Detroit Pistons passed on Carmelo Anthony for Darko Milicic, even though they won that one title, not because of Darko, they paid for it. They paid for it because they would have won multiple championships. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. If Carmelo Anthony was drafted by the Detroit Pistons in 2003, they would have won at least 4. I'm being honest.
Yep. Could have been. Yeah.
They could have won 4. That's all they needed. That that was all the Pistons needed was someone just to score. They had all the defense.
That
From
was their
two,
stimulus package.
yeah, that was their stimulus package. Now you got Lamelo Ball, and you got certain teams trying to convince themselves. Not teams. This is really media hacks. It's not even teams because there are reports that the Knicks are. I mean, they want to draft them. They want to have sold out the Garden. You know, the Garden already sells out, but it's really going to sell out if they get Lamelo Ball. And you already know the Detroit Pistons want him. So
Yeah.
all these folks are trying to smoke screen. I think a certain team wants him. They don't want to trade up. They want him to fall just right to them. So they're gonna put baseless articles. And this is really sad. We're now in an era where we're worried about parents. That's a goddamn joke.
Yeah. Yeah. But you got to peep game, man. They always trying to control narrative, man. If you control narrative, you control the situation. So you can say what the hell you want to say. And let's be honest, man. And no offense to the listeners, man. The general sports media, man, are goldfish as far as their memory. So you can just put hot takes out and accentuate it, and people will forget the details, but they'll remember the landmark. What am I referencing? Man, I had a dude just yesterday comment on some stuff about Lonzo's shoes, right? They talking about his shoes are falling apart. Man, how many times did they explain that? From then, he talking about the prototypes that never saw the light of day that he used for 2 preseason games. But people are still using it as a narrative as, oh, the shoes were trash. He put out 2 versions of that shoe since that point. But it just shows what the consumer, what the average sports fan takes in. They take in, they tend to lean towards the negativity and the main talking points. So you just got to be astute to that, man, because it's always going to happen, man. You know what I mean? And so we got to just stay diligent, stay reporting that real. I think we are very important for that undercurrent, just keeping people focused. Because if you focus on that, I mean, I live in LA, man. You see it all the time, man. Like the mainstream media, man, it's so funny how they literally control the piece. I got a homegirl who works for FS1, man. She's from Lebanon, but no, Liberia. I'm sorry. Lived in Houston with me, man. She lives in LA now, and she works for FS1, man. And I just see, some of the stuff she posts. And I'm just like, man, like that really is the belly of the beast, man. How they control narratives, and they got this little guild of people who are ready to step in and perpetuate that same cycle. So you just got to understand the game, man. It's all game at the end of the day, man. So you just got to stay true, stay real, man, and understand that the Most High is giving you discernment, man. So use it, man. Don't get so
Facts, bro.
lost in the sauce, man. Like, cause it's easy to get lost in the sauce, man. Like, use your gifts, man. Use your brain, use your intellect, and look through that stuff and understand what the real is, man.
For sure, man. I wanted to ask you this about Gelo. Do you believe that Gelo will eventually make the NBA? And tell the listeners why, if or if not, he'll make it.
Excellent question, man. I'm not gonna give a fanboy response, man. So even in the JBA days, I said this about Lamelo Ball. I'm sorry, LiAngelo Ball. Give him the PJ Tucker route. PJ Tucker is a cat I played against. He played at the University of Texas. When I played him, my matchup situation, I was like, he one of the worst players. He one of the easiest dudes I've guarded in my life. Fast forward, this is 2006. Fast forward 2020, PJ Tucker is still an NBA pro. You know why? PJ Tucker went over. Well, he got drafted by the Raptors. Didn't really pan out. Went overseas, perfected his game, been a 6'5", undersized player, and now he found a niche. And I said this 2 years ago, DJ. Let LaMelo, he's going to have to play 4 years at UCLA or whatever. And then he's going to have to develop his game. He can turn to a 3-and-D guy. That's been my honest assessment from day one. And the fact that he set that thing in motion to be in the D League in the G League right now, it's almost accelerating that program, man. So do I think he'll be this great player like LeVar said? Absolutely not. I don't see it. Will he be a serviceable player in the NBA with his skill set? I think he just keeps going through the process. He keeps learning, because he'll never be this athletic beast. I hate to break it to you, ball fans. It ain't happening.
No,
But
it's not happening.
it's not happening, dog. But he can shoot the fire out that ball. He has a very strong base, and he's a smart, selfless player. But he has a motor though. Even though he's very unathletic, he has a motor too. So that's something that can translate next level. You just have to find that niche. You got to find that place. You got to find your areas on the court where you're going to be effective, like i.e. a PJ Tucker who's turned to a corner three-point shooter. So to answer your question, will he make it to the next level? Man, I think he can, man. It's going to be about 23, 24 years old until it all comes together. That's kind of when you say you get your man game together. That's when you kind of the game slows down for you. And I can attest to that. When I played overseas, about 24 is when it all kind of started making sense about where I could be on a professional level. So I think, man, you guys just give patience, man. Like, about 23, 24, I think he'll figure it all out, and he'll be a mainstay in the NBA, man. Like, again, he'll probably be a fifth option, fourth option on most teams. But I think there's plenty of room for guys like that, man. Selfless, strong-willed, great shooter. Let's start with that. A great shooter. He way better shooter than both his brothers.
Yes.
So yeah, man, that boy got a flame on him, man. So I think it's gonna take time though. You can't expect him to do that tomorrow because it's not happening. But just let his grown man game kick in, and you're gonna see, man, he has the skill set to be a mainstay, I would say, in the NBA, man.
See, that's the difference between people like us who are fans and then the others that are stands. There was another Ball Family channel that had a poll, and then it had a video saying who will score more points in the summer league between Lamelo and Gelo. Now, common sense tells you Lamelo.
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers said Gelo. I'm like, what? They're not going to give him that much shots. They're not going to, if you're not a top pick, and that's just how the game goes. If you're not a top pick, you're not going to get that many shots.
Yeah. Oh, that many minutes.
Yeah, and minutes. Yeah, I should have brought that up first. LiAngelo is not going to get that much minutes like that in the summer league. I'm not being like negative. I'm just saying he hasn't even played a G League game yet. He just got to earn his stripes. And for LaMelo Ball, for LiAngelo, what he has to do to make the NBA is just like be like a PJ Tucker, man. PJ Tucker was never the most athletic, never really had the lateral quickness, but he played hard and he played smart and he took good shots. So LiAngelo is never going to be a player that's going to be a starter in the NBA that's taking all the shots that he wants. It's never going to happen. But could he make a roster by doing the little things right? Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, and bro, you just gotta, again, we keep going back to the same tenets, man, which is good though. We gotta drive the same point home. You gotta understand, man, that a lot of people are members of the fanboy mentality, man, or not even that. They just don't know sports like that. They may like sports a lot. They may have been watching sports most of their life, but if you ask them to break down what they see, they can't do it. And that's okay, man. Like, everybody wasn't blessed to have that type of discernment or experience or whatever. That's just reality. So, of course, you're going to have, like, fan polls like that where people just going, because right now it seems as if LiAngelo is the most loyal to Big Baller Brand. So, of course, people going to say, oh, he going to shine harder. You got to understand, people think associatively, man. Like, they going to always, the herd, the crowd is going to think the same way. So, as being a fan, like you said, like me and yourself, you can be a fan, but you ain't got to be a stan, to your point you made. You got to still be able to understand the herd, the crowd. And if you just sit down and look at the dynamics, like you alluded to, from a minute standpoint, of course, LaMelo is going to be the belle of the ball, man. He's going to get all the minutes he wants, all the opportunity he wants. So, of course, obviously, you're going to have more opportunity. LiAngelo, obviously, being a 3-star prospect who didn't get a full year at UCLA, which I don't care. I told people he could have played 4 years at UCLA. He'd still be at that same point at 22, like a fringe NBA guy. It is what it is.
Yeah, but that's just his game.
That's his game, man. Like, and that's okay. Everybody's not a 5-star prospect. It's hard as hell to be a 5-star prospect, DJ. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this, man. the average fan can't let go of their feelings and understand that obviously, you know, Lamelo gonna have ample opportunity, not only from a skill set. I mean, you gave him the same minutes in that spectrum. Of course, Lamelo gonna outscore him, but he'll have more opportunity, more free reign. So of course he outscored him. So you know, it's just tough, man, because you want to be on the same side as fellow fans. But man, I put it like this: I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. One of the
Same
hardest
here.
things, yeah, one of the hardest things to do is live in California and be a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Oh boy. You got the
No,
49er fans and the
come on,
Raider fans out there.
come on, and not only that, the Cowboy fans, bro. No disrespect to my Cowboy fans in California. Some of the worst Cowboy fans are California Cowboy fans, man. They will say any and everything. Like they say Dak trash. They say Dak the GOAT. It ain't no nuance, brother. It's all over the place. And I'm like, oh, so how many games you been to at American Airlines? I mean, not American Airlines. AT&T.
18. Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, I was meaning to go. So basically, none of them ever been to a game, which I'm not faulting for. I mean, whatever. But you just see the disconnect from reality. You know what I mean? From a huge fan base. And, man, don't join none of these Cowboy fan groups, man. I get so aggravated in that, man. But it's reality. So I juxtapose that to the Ball family clan, that you got your people who just want to see them do well, but they don't really have discernment, man. They don't really have real perspective. They just kind of talking out their ass, you know, to be frank. And it's a frustrating thing, but I think you got to understand, you know, as a sensible person that that's how people are, man. People, you always gonna have the extreme. You're gonna have the extreme the other way, and then you're gonna have people in the middle who understand what the real is. So I try to stay grounded in that middle to understand what the real is between both those two extremes.
You know what? This is the reason why I kind of feel bad for Dak Prescott of the Cowboys, and I'm not trying to go in another tangent, but I'm trying to bring this example.
So let's
We
do
got all these other YouTubers, man. I'm not gonna put their names out, who
it.
who are saying, you know, some YouTubers like, man, if you don't pay Dak what he like top dollar, if he's not the highest paid player in the NBA, then they're doing a disservice to him. It's not that serious. Dak is a good quarterback, and I say, you know, give him what $35 million something. These motherfuckers talking about 40 million, talking about the new market and all that stuff, and talking about the Cowboys have enough money. We just got Frederick that retired. Would you give Dak $40 million, brother? Be honest.
um,
A
but
year?
I'm gonna be real with you. Would I want to? Hell no. Um, what I try to understand as my opinion is here is the slide market. And the slide market is that quarterback market about to jump way the hell up. Look no further than Ryan Tannehill, bum ass, getting 33.
Oh
He's a
boy.
bum. Ryan Tannehill's no, you know what? He's a reform bum. He's not a bum no more, but he's a serviceable quarterback at this point. And serviceable quarterbacks don't get paid 33 mil. So it shows you the bottom frame of the market. You know what I'm saying? So if Tannehill worth 33 going forward with the new CBA and the new quarterback market, it's not super far fetched for Dak to get 40. Now, just from face value, do I want to pay Dak 40? No, I don't. What I don't want to do is get back into the Chad Hutchinson. What's my man name? What was the black dude who was there with Hutchinson?
Oh
Quincy
man.
Carter,
Yeah, Quincy Carter. Oh my God.
Testaverde. I ain't trying to go back down that train no
Well,
more, bro.
that was like the dark ages of Cowboy fandom.
Yeah,
Golly.
yeah. Tony Romo was a gift, man. If y'all remember,
Yeah, he
Tony Romo,
was.
undrafted practice player who worked his way up. Them was some bad days after Troy Aikman, man.
People forget, man. When Tony Romo came in, I know there's some games where he turned over the ball. He put some light into the team because, man, we was
Shit,
in
yeah.
the dark ages, man. I ain't gonna
Shit,
lie.
yeah.
I was happy when we got Romo, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna be like these fake fans talking about he ain't this and that. Romo only had two teams that were like where you could consider almost as good as the teams Dak been on from 16 to 20, right? If you
Shit.
look back, the 14 team, which
In
was good,
09.
in '09.
No doubt. You know what's funny though, bro? So man, shout out to my boy Chris Henderson, man, who got me the man. He got us a shout out from Kendrick Perkins. He went live with Kendrick Perkins, and the next day he went live with T.O. Bro, let me say this. And a lot of people grilled him, including myself. They grilled T.O. about his Cowboy situation. He consistently blamed that stuff on Romo. He consistently blamed that on Romo, bro. And he wasn't from a malicious standpoint. But man, if you ever heard T.O. talk, he is unapologetically, man. I'm actually gonna re-upload that whole that live that my boy Chris and T.O. had. He vehemently said that it's pretty much Romo's fault why they didn't win no Super Bowl that year. In the following year, he said Romo the reason why they removed him. The following year when they brought in Roy Williams and what have you. So I don't know, man. I would say listen to that, man, because T.O. shoot from the hip, man. T.O. don't pull no punches.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like he had an axe to grind, to be honest. He just was speaking about how he see it. So I'm a little torn, don't get me wrong. I like Romo. I don't love Romo. I respect who he was. Like, he was a big Band-Aid on a huge gaping wound that we had with our franchise. So I won't disrespect Romo like he wasn't great.
Could you imagine a young Romo with this type of talent, man?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now I know everybody like, the 2014 team, he had a good team. That was one time where he had a team like that, and they should have won it all. Dez caught the ball, by the way. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. We win that game because remember we beat the Seahawks at their place. We were the Seahawks kryptonite. The Seahawks fans did not want. They admitted, like on streams and other shows, that they did not want the Cowboys to win that game against the Packers. We would have beat the Seahawks and went to the NFL. I truly believe that they couldn't stop our offensive line and running game.
Well, my only pushback is I think Dez caught that. I think that is the biggest travesty in the fucking history of goddamn NFL football because he caught it
absolutely.
And made a football move. He always does that. He always lunges forward. My question is, if we would have scored right there, it's still 5 minutes. Ain't no way in goddamn blue hell we just gonna stop Aaron Rodgers.
True that.
We gonna stop him down. So that's my only pushback. Like we should have got that touchdown. You reward a dude going out there and making a football play in the highest stage. But 5 minutes, we already saw that, the year previous. Well, no, I'm sorry. Was it 20? Yeah, the year previous. Year 15, we scored too early with Dak, and you saw.
2016.
2016, 2 years later.
Yeah, that was Dak's rookie year.
We scored too early with Dak, and you saw what Aaron Rodgers did with a minute left. So,
man, I always think, what if Romo didn't get hurt in 16 and got to play with Zeke and that revamped offensive line? Oh my God! And I know people look at the numbers. When Tony Romo had a running game and added weapons on receivers, his turnovers are down. His numbers are all world.
Yeah.
So his stats show that. And when you do a play action with Tony Romo, and they got the defense to bite on the run, it's over.
Yeah, you're going over the top for sure.
But
yeah,
I was gonna say. As a T.O. situation, I think it's Jason Garrett. Remember, Jason Garrett was the head coach of waiting. And
he blamed him too.
He never liked T.O. He wanted T.O. to leave. And so I was team T.O. all the way because I understood how fake, how fake the organization was.
Yeah, he blamed Garrett too. He's not a fan of Garrett, man. And I would say, as much as Romo was a better arm talent than Dak, the thing that Romo struggled with that Dak is really good is leading men. And towards the end, Romo started to figure it out. And one thing that T.O. referenced was, the infamous trip that what's my man's Witten and Romo took before the playoff game.
Oh boy, that was a bad look.
That was a bad look. And T.O. was saying, man, that really, drove a wedge in the team. And that was a very big point of his concern about going forward. You know what I mean? And so these T.O. words directly. Mm-hmm. So, and that's something the media, I hate to give the media props, but everybody kind of made a big deal out of it. But T.O. kind of confirmed it, like, no, it was a big deal, them going and doing that shit and showing up flat. So, it's kind of hard to dismiss that type of thing on Romo's, that's on Romo's watch. You know what I mean? So, Romo just struggled again being a leader. And then before that, he had that BS shit with Jessica Simpson that he couldn't shake.
Oh boy,
trying to be this fake celebrity. You know,
we used to call Tony Romo Tony Romeo, man. He pulled
exactly, man. Exactly.
What's that other chick, that country singer name again? Not Jessica Simpson, but Underwood, Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood, yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, Tony Romo was a player back in the day, man.
Hey, I ain't mad though, man. You
me
start
either, man.
Cowboys, you need to plow them down, man.
There's some other females that he kept secret that were famous. You know, had a little fling or two. He was pimping in Dallas.
It's like Derek Jeter, man. You play for shortstop for the Yankees, man. Hey, hang your business, man.
Exactly, man.
The Grove is open. Hey, you know what? I got a funny story with Dak, man, to show kind of the difference. Man, so that 2016 year, we and a few of my Hoop Jargon members, we went to go see them play against the Ravens. Mm-hmm. This was Dak and Zeke's rookie year. And, man, you could just see the difference of personality between Dak and Zeke, man. I remember, so we went to the game. We all went in, pregame and stuff, and we went to a club called Clutch Bar down here in Dallas. It's like a premier upscale club. And so Dak, Zeke, Lucky Whitehead, if you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that dude was so extra. But they come to the club, too. And you just see the difference of, like, them dudes is, like, personality traits. Dak never left VIP. Wouldn't let nobody really take pictures of him. So he a rookie. But Dak just hella reserved, not really just trying to put himself out there. And guess, excuse my French, but guess who the fuck nigga was in the crowd just having a blast?
Who?
Zeke. Having a blast, dog. So all the stuff he be getting jammed up with, man, I saw it that rookie year. I was like, man, this dude right here don't give no fucks, man. Like, that dude.
Zeke wild, man. I heard
wild.
A lot of stuff about him, man.
Yeah, this was early in his career, so I know he definitely wilder now. No question. So it's just funny to see, man. So I don't know if Dak will. I seen Dak leave with a piece. I don't want to talk too much on his business, but
yeah,
he seemed to be a guy who keep his stuff under wraps, though. So I guess he enjoying his Cowboy fandom a different way. But if Zeke was a quarterback, he'd be worse than Romo. I tell you that.
Oh boy, man. But that's a good thing about Dak. Everybody thinks that just because I said Dak's a good quarterback and I don't throw the elite word, I don't say elite that much to me. That's the problem with today's NFL. We keep throwing elite around. Absolutely. I remember freaking stinking Joe Flacco was calling himself elite, and rightfully so. He got pushed back. Motherfucker, you won the championship because of that damn defense. You ain't elite.
Yeah, right.
The hell you talking about elite?
Yeah,
being a good quarterback is great for the NFL. You get paid, you get bread. Look at Teddy Bridgewater. He always collected a check.
Absolutely.
He doesn't give a damn about that he's not elite. Making $30-something million a year.
Well, again, those are media contrived titles, man. Like, so it's like, what can you discern what elite is? I mean, some people may say top 10, but then, there's more buffers they throw out there. So you just got to watch out for these blanket, you know what I mean, accreditations they throw out there, man, because then you'll start overstating, understating certain players. Like you say, Joe Flacco, who ain't never been elite. He may have an elite deep ball. He had that. But as far as overall quarterback skill set and acumen, you ain't never been elite. You just had a hell of a playoff run, which is commendable, because who can say they've done that in their career? Yeah, ain't but a handful of dudes.
But I got to say this. Now, Dak seems like a guy, if he gets let's say he gets top NFL money.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy that wouldn't care about the pushback if they don't make it far in the playoffs and stuff. He just seems like he don't give a damn. Like to worry about what they think, but it's gonna be interesting to see how he reacts, because when you take that much money, all money is not good money. Like, we love money, but if the pressure is too high, let's say the Cowboys with all the talent they have, they give Dak the number one quarterback money. Let's say he makes $40 a year, and the Dallas Cowboys only make it to the second round and didn't put a good performance. How do you think Dak will react to that?
If he gets his money and they don't
make it that far?
Well, so I look at Dak a little differently, man. I think Dak, he showed me he cared about his bread. Like, I thought he didn't care much about his bread.
No, he cared about his bread.
Yeah, let me preface it the right way. I should have known better. Um, Dak, he strikes me, as a guy who is very gracious of where he's at. And I think he wants to win, man. And again, me harkening back to that day at the club, his reserved nature. He didn't seem a dude too into himself being a celebrity. But again, that could be a facade, man. A lot of people can show different parts of their real intent different ways. So I don't want to give him like this golden boy stamp. I think he does care about winning, man. And I haven't really heard any whispers, living down here, knowing a few media members. I've never heard no whispers about him being a me guy, man. I really haven't heard that. And I guess I can't get mad at him for this contract situation because, man, this dude over 4 years, they're gonna pay what, like $6 million, $7 million over like 4 years. So it's kind of time for him to cash in, man. I'm not mad at him at all, bro.
Yeah, we all want him to get paid, brother.
Yeah, that boy been on a hell of a discount, man.
Yeah,
that's been a hell of a discount. So I want him to do that, but I think he does care about winning, man. I don't think he's one of them dudes who care more about himself first. If again, I read people well. I'm a salesman by trade. Doesn't mean I'm always right. But from what I gathered and from what I've heard from again media sources, I don't think he's a me guy. I think he really wants to win, man.
hey, bro, I'm tired of the media. Certain YouTubers, they need to stop saying that the Cowboys don't want to pay Dak. When they gave him an option, I think there was a report of they wanted to give him a 5-year deal, $35 million a year. Dak wants a 4-year deal and want to re-up his money. Mm-hmm. And the media and then the fan boy, that's the difference between stands and fans. Saying, oh, they don't want to pay Dak. He had a discount. We all get that. We want him to get paid, but don't act like just because the Cowboys offered only $35 million a year in 5 years, and he ain't make a decision on it like he don't want to pay. They don't want to pay Dak. That's ludicrous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because most people don't understand the art of negotiation, man. They really don't understand it. Like they have no working knowledge whatsoever about how the negotiation process goes. I mean, you see it time after time, like with those asinine statements. Again, they don't want to pay him. Of course, they want to pay him. They see him as, I'm sure, just how they outwardly show. Jerry Jones and Dak got that surrogate dad-father relationship. I'm sure. I mean, they do. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Jerry Jones ain't become a billionaire off of just. Well, hold on. He's giving money out just willy-nilly. He's done it before. But if you notice, when Stephen Jones has stepped in, they shut that shit down. They stopped, reacting emotionally while we didn't draft Johnny Manziel, thank God. You know what I mean? So Steven has pulled the reins back on Jerry a lot, man. And so they are master negotiators, man. And they're very staunch on the position they on. And so what you're seeing is just, good old-fashioned negotiation, man, between two competent parties, man. That's all you're seeing right now, bro. And there's no pressure right now because there's no holdout. I mean, well, obviously, they gave him the franchise tag, but it's not an official holdout. There's no mini camp yet. There's no training camp yet. There's no threat of the season. So these are the points when the negotiations heat up. This is not heat up season right now. This is like, mild season right now. So you're going to see mild negotiation, man. But most, again, the casual fan don't understand these things. So they just say all kind of dumbass shit. Like, again, he's not trying to pay him. Well, obviously he is. But they're trying to still make a good deal. So that's what's going on right now. And you got to separate fan from stand evaluation, man.
Exactly, man. Man, I want to talk about this. I remember D-Law, he had a bad season. He only had 5 sacks, and people were trying to make excuses. They double-teaming him. Well, they double-teaming Aaron Donald, and he still get double sacks. Mm-hmm. So when you getting top D-line money, and I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald, but when you take that money, that's the expectations you take. That's just how it is.
Absolutely.
That's just how the game goes. He said something that ticked me off, and I'm glad that the Cowboys moved on from Jason Garrett and got a coach who's very strict in Mike McCarthy. Not unreasonable strict, but he's strict enough where he doesn't play that weak mentality shit.
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcus Lawrence had a closing interview last game. They're not in the playoffs, and he said something in regards to a team without direction is not a good team at all. Pretty much blame deflecting. Now, I don't like Jason Garrett. I think he's a horrible coach. But to
take away blame and said, "Oh, it's just the coaches, not us." If the Cowboys had that right attitude to whoop a nigga's ass and take what's theirs, they could have won more games despite coaching. Am I wrong or am I right?
Yeah, man, and that was our big hurdle, man. It's like we can't overcome monotony, man. It's like one of my things my coach used to tell me in college, man, is work past boredom, man. It just seems like once, things, the landscape looked straight, everything was good, everything was nice and harmonious, man. We just couldn't break through that thing and go to that next level when it's like punch a nigga in the mouth, man. And I think that is very much an indictment on the head coach, man, because you control the tenor of your team, man, whether it's fair or not fair. And I think that's our problem. Like D-Law was saying, man, it's just too complacent. Man, we could all see it. I mean, it ain't like it's some exclusive news he giving us. We can see it. When it's time to step up and punch motherfuckers in the mouth, we struggle with that. And so with Mike McCarthy being a no-nonsense guy, which I think we've been needing this for a minute.
Man, you ain't
shit.
lying.
Even past, what's my man name before Garrett? Wade
Phillips.
Yeah, Wade Phillips. Bum Phillips' son. Man, it's just something we were lacking, man. And and I guess the narrative at that time was our defense. I mean, I'm saying our offense needed a spark. So that's what kind of got Garrett into that mix. But really and truly, we just needed. I mean, and that's actually what we messed up with Bill Parcells. Parcells is that kind of guy. But that's when Jerry was still feeling himself, and they didn't see eye to eye. So he went his own way. But we should have got another guy. I mean, people learn from their mistakes. And that's who Mike McCarthy is, man. And I think McCarthy, he got that old school mentality. It's my way. And I'm also glad to see he took this whole offseason to work with Pro Football Focus. And so he's kind of evolved. Like, he's more with, like, open up his playbook. I know he's big on West Coast, but he has a lot of wrinkles he's added, and so him working with them, I think that's going to be dope. That's going to be a great dynamic to have the creativity, but the discipline and hold people accountable for their marriage. And I think that's been our biggest problem for shit upwards about 20 years, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about McCarthy. He's a man's man. He'll chew out anybody. He chewed out Aaron Rodgers and he didn't give a damn. Not to embarrass Aaron Rodgers, but he did it as I'm the head coach. I deserve that respect. Because you know how a diva Aaron Rodgers is. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And the Packers, the reason why the Packers did not win more Super Bowls, it was kind of like bad luck and bad spending. So, number one, they ran into the Legion of Boom Seahawks. If that team was not formed like they were, probably the Packers would have won another one.
Yeah.
Most likely. Yeah, they would have, to be honest. So that's just unlucky that those things happen. It's just like if the Jordan Bulls weren't formed like they were, the Knicks would probably win the championship.
Yeah.
So it's just how it goes. Also, the Packers are like the whole city funds the team. They don't have an owner, so they're cheap in their spending. If you look at the salaries, they're cheap. When they needed D tackles that were elite, they didn't pay for them. They needed some elite corners, they didn't pay for them. And they just expect Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers to just outscore opponents. That's not how you win Super Bowls. Even the Kansas City Chiefs had good defensive players. That's how they won. You got Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and you got Frank Clark on that. Just some savages on there. Juan Thorhill, who we should have drafted, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we didn't pick him up.
Was Eric Berry back there too?
No, he was not on that team.
Okay. Sure.
But I just can't wait for this Cowboy team, man. I like the direction it's going. I like that the Cowboys are adding size with Gerald McCoy and big ass Don Terry Poe.
Yeah. Claw that lane up, man. We've been having some D-line problems for a minute.
Yeah.
And, man, I think our team was damn good last year, too. So I'm very happy of the competency we showing this year. I still think we need some playmakers at goddamn cornerback, man. I hate to see Byron Jones go. But at the end of the day, man, that dude was solid. He had a great year 2 years ago. That motherfucker wasn't no playmaker, man. We need some dudes who's going to take the ball away, man. Period.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't want the Cowboys to reach in this draft. Take the best player Like, you can do whatever you want in the second and third round, but in the first round, take the best player available. That's how
Yeah.
good teams do it.
The playmakers, man.
Get playmakers, bro.
We solid already. We're a solid team.
Because I hate when the Cowboys, you know this better than me. When the Cowboys pick off need, that player is not going to be all that. Remember, what's that player that was in the first round that got traded to Miami? Damn, I can't believe I forgot. Taco Charlton. In the first round, they needed an extra end.
Yep.
He wasn't the player. He wasn't the player that we envisioned him in. So, but when we got an offensive lineman, not based off need, but because we already had, what's that center called again? Nick Martin or Zach Martin? Yeah, Zach Martin.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys drafted Zach Martin at the time, right? And they were telling, like everyone was saying, why would you draft Zach Martin when you already have a good offensive line?
Yeah.
That proved to be the best move because when Mark Colombo left and the other players left, and the what's that one lineman that went to Denver? Leary, Ronald Leary. When he left, that proved to be the right decision. See, this is what happens when you draft best player available and not need. You don't do that in the first round. You draft best player no matter what. You don't. Every other round you could get off need, but this is not a draft to be picking off need.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We've done that long enough, and we've done an excellent job. You know, I hate Travis Fredericks is retiring, man. That was one of our greatest need-based drafts that people laughed at. He's been an All-Pro with his entire career. So, not an All-Pro, he's been a Pro Bowler his entire career.
Yeah.
So, obviously, that was a good draft pick off a lower, evaluation. He was a third-round prospect that we drafted in the first round. Obviously, he turned out to play dividends. So we did a great job of drafting off need. I think we've surrounded our team with a good need. But at this point, we in phase 2, man. Or phase 3, or whatever past, just the initial way of building our team. And we got to get some dudes who just going to take the ball away, man, period. That's why we need Earl Thomas. Man. We need Earl Thomas. We need somebody who's just going to, you may go rogue a time or two, but it's to make a play that's going to change the inflection of the game, man. And that's what changes the situation. Because, on offense, Dak's not that guy. I love Dak, don't get me wrong. He's not a guy that's going to deviate so far off the play. And that's fine. But if we got that, the defense is going to have to be that Legion of Boom type situation where we taking the ball away, man. Not just containing, not just keeping the score low per se. Now, we need to be taking the ball away, man.
Yeah, and those who are listening, it's important not to be a fan. That's why I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm not just a fan of a player. Because Dak, Zeke, or anybody else can leave one. I'm still a Cowboy fan. That's just, a lot of people are fans of players, but not fans of teams. And that's what you're seeing with most Cowboy fans. Now, we would like and respect Dak, but we're realistic. We don't want Dak to do like last year, just throwing a ball. Like, he had most of those yards, let's face it, against weaker teams. So we look at the stats. Oh, he's a passer. He's a pocket passer. No, that's not what we need to do. We need to run that damn ball and and throw it when we need to. And that's what McCarthy is trying to implement. Different ways to have balance. Now, he's going to throw some, but still, got to use Zeke, got to use Tony Pollard right. Got so many weapons, man. So many weapons.
We do. We also got block right, too, man. Because if you remember this year, we tried to run that thing sometimes, man. And I was at this game, the Minnesota Vikings game.
Boy.
Man, we couldn't get that run game going for shit. And when we should have given Dak more rain, we didn't. I was just like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, he could have won the game for us, man.
Dude having a flu Jordan game. Let him play, man. Let him do his thing. So
they wanted Zeke. They wanted Zeke to redeem himself, I guess.
Fuck all that. Let's get the dub, man.
Yeah, I know. I hate that shit, man.
Get the dub, man. I was in the game arguing with Cowboy fans, bro. Like, ain't nothing. If you're a Cowboy fan, you never been to AT&T Stadium. Ain't nothing like going to the actual game, man. It's like a club in there, man. Like, even if you're in the 400 section, it's like a little club on the very top Go in there. Don't sit in your seat. Go to the club that's up there in the 400 section.
Oh,
You
yeah,
have
man.
way better time than look at that nosebleed seat that you in. But I remember arguing with fans that, like, I mean, and Dak balled out that game against the Vikings. And this dude from San Antonio, I'll never forget him, Hispanic guy. And he was like, man, Dak sucked, man. I was like, bro, okay, you can have your opinion. However, if we looking at this game right here, Dak is balling his ass off right now. Like, what are you looking at, dude? And then towards the end of the game, he was like, all right, yeah, I see what you mean. I'm like, I know, motherfucker. Like, damn, just watch the game. You don't have to have no preconceived notions. Just watch the tempo of the game. And I think that we did Dak a huge disservice, man, taking the ball out of his hands that game, trying to get the run going. Because, I mean, let's be honest, sometimes the run just wasn't going. Now, we're at our best when Zeke is running for $120, $150. No question. But I don't know what it was, the block schemes or whatever. Man, people was blowing our run game up, man. Easily.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's talking about our offense line being elite. Last year was a disappointment. It was a disappointment, man.
Last 2 years.
Last 2 years. Yeah, I should have said that. Last 2 years. And we had to make a Amari Cooper trade to open up some of the running lanes because you couldn't box the Cowboys as much when she had Amari Cooper. And
Absolutely.
And I'm glad Amari Cooper signed. I know people hate on him most of the time, but Amari Cooper, he loves being a Dallas Cowboy.
Yep.
Whoever is his PR team, he may need to give him a raise because all he did was say, I want to be here. I love the fans. I love the people. I love Dallas. I love Texas. He was saying that the whole time, and now he got his bread.
Yep.
He got his bread. That's one thing Dak should have done. He has to – I wish he would have spoke more to that. So you didn't have anybody twisting his words. I would go off and say this. He should have said what he wanted off from the jump while still being positive. I would have been like, the market's set here, so I deserve, let's say, $38 million a year.
Well, I think his agent did do that. I think that the number that they said at the time. Well, let me back up. I think Dak should have took that first one he had, but I mean, I'm not in a position to tell Dak what he think he deserved getting paid.
Yeah.
So I want to preface my statements the right way. Yeah, I think he could have controlled the media a lot more, but again, going to his personality type, I don't think that's the kind of dude he is at all. I don't think he gives a damn about, controlling the media. I think he's a straight up and down. I mean, he's a Southern cat. I'm not saying all Southern cats are like this, but he seemed to be a pretty simple dude, man. From most of the I guess the times I've seen him in person and what I've heard about him rather, he's a pretty straight up and down guy, man. So, I guess the chicanery or whatever, the using the media to kind of, get what you want, what they call it, the Hegelian dialectic, pressure from above, pressure from below.
For sure.
That ain't really his style, man. Like, so where other guys, obviously AB have tried shit like that. Guys like, the list goes on. Is Zeke. That ain't really Dak's style, man. So it's a little tough, man. So you got two old school cats going about it, with Jerry and with Dak, with Jerry and Steven, let me say, and Dak. So you just got like an old behind the scenes, good old goddamn, not debate. What's the word I'm looking for? Negotiation going on, man. It's just, it's going a lot longer than we thought. To your point, I don't understand fully the ins and outs, but I got to kind of see the framework of the situation. And it seemed like these just two old school mentalities going about this negotiation, and they just taking their goddamn sweet time, man. Frustrating as a fan, man. You want to lock this shit up and be done with it, man.
Now, we're going to reverse and switch gears again.
All right.
No pun intended. You know I got to say it. Shout out to Molly Karen when I exaggerate and shit. LaMelo Ball. Now, this is what's pissing me off. There's so many people that are saying that LaMelo Ball has to do these combine workouts and stuff to prove his worth. Why does he have to do it and nobody else in the top 10 are going to be doing it?
Because what we see right now is it's kind of undeniable that Melo is the truth. But with LaMelo, to kind of go back to what we're talking about, represents is going against the grain. You're going against standard protocol. You're going against pretty much that whole spectrum they laid out of what an athlete should be. He here's a funny part, DJ. He went in this NBL league and dominated, won Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah.
You know his predecessors, Jeremy Tyler and what's my man Jennings. They both have done that same program. They went and put up baby numbers in that league, baby numbers. But Jennings still got drafted pretty high. Jeremy Tyler got taken like late in the second round. And he went and again, excuse my French, he fucked that league up, man. So now he's kind of switched the paradigm of how you can demonize a player, breaking off the cogwheel and being your own little thing. So of course you're gonna try to nitpick. You're gonna nitpick him in the realm of convention to make sure what you see is for real, because they gotta justify him not going the traditional way, killing, and still holding that position to be worthy of draft as high as he is when it's clearly obvious. But when you castigate him the whole way and tell him how dumb and retarded that path is, you're going to have to keep trying to put these buffers up to try to make him seem like, you know what I mean, he may not be what you think it is. And so you're going to keep putting these buffers, put these roadblocks in his way to keep proving himself when it's obvious for a long time ago. It's obvious when he was at Spire that he was as good as advertised. It's obvious when he played in the Drew League he was good as advertised. But though again, those are not normal conventions. So you got to keep throwing these hurdles up to keep him jumping over them just to kind of keep him in check. That's what I think the reason for that shit is, man.
Yeah, for real. LaMelo Ball, and I know he's going to do just like everybody else that's in the top 10. And he's a top 5 projected pick. Is do individual workouts and interview with teams. That's all he should be doing.
Yep.
He don't need to be doing anything different just because he's LeVar Ball's son and you don't like him.
Yep.
You know that this type of punishing athletes because you dislike someone is so immature. That's why I said no prospect in this draft has the mental fortitude to go through what LaMelo went through, not because family or anything, just media. The media painted him off to be a selfish player, even though his coaches say he's a great kid, very coachable. When LaMelo played in the Drew League, his coach says the best thing about coaching LaMelo is he never thought that he's better than everybody. He was very coachable. He always did what he took to win. There was a game where there was a team playing boxing one on LaMelo. So you know what LaMelo did? Kept feeding it the Big O. They won the game. Didn't have like the points he usually have, but the point was he made the right plays. And the shooting percentage, that's going to be all rectified when he get in the league. That's because people don't talk about this. LaMelo had a unique growth spurt and muscle spurt during the NBL years. He's getting used to his body. So that affected his shot. Also, sometimes shot selection. That's one thing LaMelo has to work on. There were games where LaMelo will shoot 4 straight threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, in his mind, instead of just mixing it up sometimes, he's like, I guess I can just shoot this the rest of the game. So LaMelo will have 27 points, 12 assists, a couple of rebounds. And you look at it, LaMelo shot 4 for 15 3. Field goal percentage was like 12 for something. You're like, man, how he got 27 points? But that's the streaky nature of LaMelo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get his. And I really believe he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I'm very confident. Because whatever team he's getting drafted to, he's going to have the fanfare and he's going to have the minutes.
Agreed. Which he should. All earned by him. And that's just his personality type, man. He gone, again, I was speaking about his imagination, man. He got that down, man. He's a guy who's a true lover of basketball, as you can see. He's a dude who would think outside normal conventions that most players I think college kind of constrains you a little bit. And I'm willing to debate that with people who a huge proponent for college ball. But I mean, Luka Doncic ain't played for college, so you don't necessarily have to go through that paradigm to get that skill set developed. Playing on that next level. So I'll debate that all day. I played college and I played overseas. I think it's a lot you can take from both of those entities. But Melo, I think, now this is going to be controversial, had the best path. And LeVar talked about this when he went to FS1 last month, is that he got to experience that overseas grind at 16.
Sure did.
Man, like, brothers, I want y'all to understand, man, if you never played overseas, it's great at times, and it is some of the shittiest stuff you're going to go through at times, man, because you're going to play sometimes in empty-ass gyms with people who don't care about basketball first. They care about soccer more. And you got teammates who don't care about basketball as much as they should. And you really got to understand that the GM, the president, the whomever, the coach, they don't give a damn about none of it. They brought you in to be Michael Jordan, period. No matter how much they paying you. My first job I took overseas getting paid $1,500 a month. Bullshit money. But it's 2007, so that was considered a pretty good job. Some dudes got like $300 a month. That's how savage you can get with that overseas game. So, but with that $1,500 a month, they expected me to be Kobe Bryant over there. Coming from a small Division I school like Prairie View, shout out to PV. But
shout out to the HBCUs out there.
There you go.
Throw that in.
There you go. You know what it is.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is it's a lot of expectation with they're not investing a lot in you, because that means I've seen so many brothers get cut, sent home, and they'll put a press release out like you just the worst individual. Like, so, case an example. One day we lost to a team called Benfica. Vitória, best team in the league. Had a dude named Eddie Tommy. He played at University of Ole Miss. 6'8", beast. We played them at home. We lost by like 40. I had like 20 and 10. And the night before that, we were seen in the city drinking. So the spin in the media was we lost because we was out partying too hard. We were the worst team in the league playing the best team in the league. But that's how that game go. So you gotta have tough skin. It develops you to be a professional, man. Another situation in Germany. So I left that team in Portugal. I went to Germany, and the media was saying the only reason why this is a website called Shoe and Basket in Germany. They said the only reason why I was on the team because my agent was a player, which he was, but I was just that good. I was gonna leave. He's like, "Nah, come try out for my team." I tried out and made the team. I was the best player on the team. But before we played against the team, I can't remember the name of that city. But there's a guy named Hotman who was the guy. Man, I busted his ass. After that, all them rumors about me being there because I'm trash, all that shit stopped. So, but I was offended, man. I was like, dog, why they hating on me? They don't know me. All that stuff comes in being a professional. So Lamelo went through that at 16. I'm 23 going through this. So a lot of dudes, they talk about, Lithuania bullshit. Dude, people who play 4 years D1 college and go take that Lithuania job that Lamelo had at 16. Let's stop the bullshit. Dudes would take that job playing 4 years at North Carolina as a bench player or as a sixth man or whatever. They would take that job. That's how you build your European resume. So, again, saying all to say this, he went through that stage at a young ass point in his life. So he got all this experience, man, of just slander, hate, not getting the minutes you want, playing with grown ass men. So now he ready. So now it's all cake for him. It is cake. And that's why he went to that damn league in Australia and murked out like he did. Because he wasn't babied by that, that high school sports circuit. When you playing cupcakes all the time, you may have a few marquee games playing against talent at you, but you playing against a lot of cupcakes, man. So that's why I think he's prepared more than most people, like a Luka Doncic was playing ACB league in Spain. He's a pro at a young ass age, man. So I think a lot of people going to be just steadily eating them words on LaMelo, man. It's going to be funny, man. It's going to be funny.
I can't wait, man. And for the Shines who always say that LaMelo's team in the NBL was trash and he wasn't a winner there, that team was weak before he got there. And
yes,
when he left, they lost even more games. I don't think they won another game when he left.
But, and Aaron Brooks got hurt too, man. Aaron Brooks, former NBA guy, he got hurt early. So, I mean, yeah, you're not going to do better. He's not gonna get better, bro.
But it's LaMelo's fault.
Yeah.
Get out of here with all that. Man, before we go, we're going to talk about this Lonzo. What does Lonzo need to do to get that max deal? He wouldn't be eligible for it like this coming year, but I'm talking about the end of next year.
Yeah.
I said that he need to average about 15 and 10 at least to get a max deal. A lot of shines are telling me it's not about stats, but in the NBA world, they're going to look at stats. The owners are going to look at that, and they're going to match it with anybody else. So, and they're telling me it's not about the money. It's always about the money. Because when you get, I'm going to tell you what happens when you get that max contract. Security. All that guaranteed money, even if, let's say, like you get a max contract and they cut you, you still keep that guaranteed money in that contract. That was in that contract. So they got to pay you when you're chilling. See, that's the security I'm talking about. So what do you think about what I just stated?
He gonna have to step it up, man. And I've been an ardent Lonzo Ball fan from inception. But for you to get max money, for you to get that type of face, you're gonna have to step it up. And he has been stepping it up. If you've been watching him, even before Zion came back, Lonzo balling his ass off, man. And I'll even go back a step before that. Before he got hurt, he was balling his ass off when LeBron was hurt, playing for the Lakers. In that game, he got hurt against the Rockets. If you remember, the Lakers were up 20 before Lonzo got hurt. They were beating their ass, and it was kind of, it was kind of a semblance of his progress. So it's been there. So some people just saying the change of scenery is why he's playing. No. He's healthy. He's playing. You let him play, he's gonna do better. So he has to keep that trajectory up. He's going to have to up them points up to like 15, 17, like you're saying, get the assist up to about 10 a game. I mean, he's going to rebound around 6 to 8 range. So, I mean, he's going to do that reflexively. So, I don't think it's nothing he need to work on per se. But being more of an offensive threat is going to be his biggest thing, man. If he can become more of an offensive threat, stop being so damn timid, stop looking to pass when he should look to attack.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Improving his finishing at the rim, because he gets timid at the rim. Look at when Caruso threw his shit against playing at the Lakers. You got to get stronger, man. That's just unacceptable. But I think he can, man. I think he will. So he gets, to answer your question directly, you're around that 17, 8, and 10 range. You're making more of an impression on the game, having your fingerprints more on the game. Of course you get that max contract. I mean, I think you'd be a fool to think Lonzo going to be a 20-point scorer playing with with Zion and B.I. Like, I mean, the ball got to move around. you can't have 3 20-point scores on that team like that. But I think, you get around that 15, 17 range with that 10 assists. I think that's what it takes to keep him around, knowing his role, knowing what he means to that team, knowing what he means to the development of Zion and B.I. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to take them to get that max contract.
I'm glad you stated that, brother. And that's why I like to bring on people who actually play basketball and know the game on these topics. Because in certain videos, I don't know if you look at the comment section, every time I talk about what Lonzo needs to do to get a max contract, we have a shine or someone who disagrees without true facts stating, well, Lonzo was going up to the basket really good. Come on, man. What kind of film you watching, brother?
No,
Come on, man. Them two-handed layups? Come on. Man, I'll tell you one thing. Would Lamelo get blocked by Caruso the way he switched up his layups and his package dropping to the basketball? Hell no.
Yeah.
He would have drew a foul.
Yeah.
Lonzo should have drew a foul on that play. And his free throw percentage is the reason why it's so low. He doesn't take it to the basket enough. And I don't know. I think it's a mental thing with him on free throws.
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
It's clearly obvious, man.
Hell yeah, it is.
It looks like he don't even want to get contact to get to the free throw line. Like, nah, I ain't getting fouled. I'm either missing it or making it. I ain't getting fouled.
Yeah. People don't get it, bro. Like, man, I used to go to the free throw line, man. I was a 50% free throw shooter just like Lonzo in college, bro. Man, that shit used to be a huge monkey on my back, dude. Like, I just be up there, like, okay, you can make these. I make the first one, I'm like, all right, I'm good now. Clank the second one, and I missed like the reverse is I missed the first one, like, fuck. All right, I gotta make the second one. I concentrate. switch the second one. It's mental, man. Like it is what it is. People don't understand it, man. So I don't know what reprogramming my brother got to do, man. But he gotta figure it out to get that fluidity on both of them. Like both of them dropping, nothing to think about. And let me get back on defense because it's definitely a mental thing, man. Because he's improved it for him. He's a lot more confident, which I love. I love the fact he's improved that form. So if you notice, when he comes
absolutely.
off, like, man, he comes off pick and roll. He can pull up instead of getting that little wind up he used to have. Or he catching that ball off, weak side. He can catch and go up without all that side wind up and stuff. So people don't notice those little nuances have changed his overall game, his overall threat. He's got to put that together with his aggressiveness now, which I think is coming. I've seen him take shots, some hero shots that he would normally never take. So I think he's on his way, bro. I really do, man.
Yeah, man. Like we said, man, we only just spitting out the facts, bro.
Straight up,
this, man. This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, Hoop Jargon. We H-Town boys, man. You know how we raised, man.
Yeah.
We ain't sugarcoating shit, man.
Yeah,
we unfiltered, man. We say what we want. We don't care what anyone said. You know what's funny about social media? And I deal with this on Twitter. It's like a competition. They see you on YouTube, and they're trying to prove you wrong every time.
Yeah.
In reality, I don't give a damn. If I'm not interested in the conversation, stop. You got motherfuckers out here tagging me on shit. See, Dante, man, I don't give a damn on subjects I don't care about.
Brother, man, I've been running a sports group with over 3,000 members for about 8 years now. I think we listen to some of the similar personalities on YouTube. It sounds like, you definitely listen to Chronicle Jews 144. Like
I
like
listening to that, brother.
Yeah. And so, no matter what your vocation, no matter where you at, you can find a lot of commonality in that brother's words. And so, and one of the big things that he does speak about, man, you just can't get back and forward with people who ain't worth your time, man. And that's just so prophetic, man, what you just spoke on, man. You just cannot let people sap away your damn time, man. Especially people who just on some fanboy shit, just want to argue, like you said, cause you just some daily confusion for no reason, man. So it is imperative you stay the hell away from that, man. And that's prophetic what you're saying. You don't go back and forth with fanboys because that's all they want is the attention. That's it. That's all they want is that attention, bro.
Yeah, I let everybody know. I said my channel is not a fanboy channel.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be, kissing ass to the Ball family, but I'm gonna be a fan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my opinion, and I'm gonna root for them because I'm a fan of them.
Absolutely.
But I would not be going along to get along.
Yeah.
Just because you want to hear me always gloat on everything positive. That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
At all. So I'm gonna constructively criticize if I see Lonzo do fucking two-handed layups. He might as well duck. I was telling my boy St. Mies. Shout out to St. Mies. He a real one. I did a show with him. I was like, man, like sometimes I wish Lonzo just dunk. Like, I don't care if he missed the dunk. Just try to yam it on someone. I know he got the hots. I'm just tired of them damn two-handed layups, man.
Just be a threat.
Yeah, just go dunk it, man.
I feel that, man. I just respect basketball too much, man. I've played and seen and coached too much basketball, bro. I've coached against Damian Lillard when he was a nobody at Weber State, bro. And my stories may seem like I'm gassing, man. I'm really not, man. I've seen.
Oh, I know your background, bro. You
a lot, dog.
Yeah.
Players who people admire at their most humble stage. Even me, I was a grad assistant, so I'm not like I was a head coach and nothing like that. But I remember Dame Lillard when he was nobody. So I just respect the game too much to be on some fanboy stuff where I'm making stuff up, man. I'm not going to do it, man. I love basketball too much. I respect basketball too much. I'm too opinionated to do that, man. I can't do it, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. Brother, I just want to thank you for joining the show, man. This is the longest show I ever done, but it was worth it. Because,
there you go, man.
It was worth it, man. And I could have actually, it was real. And I actually could have did this show longer, but, I'm like, run some errands, you know how it is. got these stores, man, the coronavirus. They doing these stories where you gotta be on the line and shit, and
I know.
one
I'm going
by
back to LA
one,
in
two
two
by
days,
two.
man.
Damn.
Going back home in
But
2 days, man. It's gonna be crazy
hey,
back
bro,
home.
you going to Oxnard, right? The Cowboys training camp.
I've never been, but I want to.
I'm thinking about going one. I've never been to one of those. I've been to a Cowboys game multiple times. I'll probably go down there, man.
Man, hit
See
me
what
up,
this.
man. I
Oh,
got
definitely.
I can potentially get some media pass stuff, man. If I can let people know ahead of time, I can mess around and get some access to that. So we can talk about that offline. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
for
we
sure.
can do that.
Yeah. You trolls be out here, man.
Yeah. You know I don't give a damn, man. Fuck what they talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I'm only saying what I know, man.
These same shies wouldn't be saying that to people's face. They just, living with their mama, or I don't know what they
You know
doing,
how I
man.
go. Man,
Yeah.
I'm 6'7", 240 in real life, man. I ain't trying to hear that bullshit, man.
Hey, as long as I know the truth, I mean, you ain't that dude to play with, man.
Hey,
So,
man, it's all good, man.
but it's a blessing that you joined the show, man. You're a real one. It's just like Savion. He's a fellow H-Town. So the interview with you, with Savion, two H-Town homies. That's I love making videos with you guys because it feels like home. We
Hell
speak a
yeah.
certain lingo. We rep the H to the fullest, and that's why we were successful because we're not giving anything. We always take it, not in a
Correct.
mean way, but just hard work. But all blessings to the Most High to you, brother.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. Likewise, man. Yeah, let's keep working, man. Let's keep doing this, man. I've been doing this seriously about a month. It's been a good month, man. I just want to keep it rolling, man. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to get my words out there and just keep growing and succeeding, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure. Hey, everyone that's listening to this video, please sub to Hoops Jargon. The brother's real, and like you just heard right now, he doesn't sugarcoat shit, man. So if you could take his raw, uncut truth, then go ahead and subscribe to the brother, man. Support his channel, man. That's what
Appreciate
we
that,
all
man.
about, supporting all the brothers, man.
Appreciate
We're
that.
not just saying it, we doing it.
Appreciate that, yeah. That's real talk, man. I got like hella respect from you for just giving me the opportunity, man, because you could ignore my few messages I sent you on your videos and went
Yeah,
about your
man.
way, man. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
big for me, bro.
Shoot, man. Like they say, if a person shows love to your work, you show love back, man. That's what we got to do.
That's what it is.
Peace and blessings, everyone.